the part of the aquaponics. Can we go there? Since the beginning of the aquaponics and the implementation phase, which was ended more than a year ago, we started another phase, which is the research and automation and upgrading of the system. And these are all the literature review I've been through and the findings of other case studies related to the aquaponics. And then we set the criteria for successful aquaponics, as you see, and these are the 7 steps that we think of: the space, the quality, the climate, the plant and fish selection, and design, budget and cost, and the maintenance, because we want to have our case as a continuing and sustainable process that we can transfer the knowledge to other institutions or middle and big landholders, so that they can implement the aquaponics with the least cost and the maximum revenue from these aquaponics. Next, please. These are all photos taken from our aquaponics in the last year and a half with different crops, mainly the basil and the lettuce, which are short growing cycle. Even those are not the highest revenue with crops to be sold, but due to they have a short growing cycle, and the green plants flourish within the aquaponics, so these gave the maximum revenue, followed by the peppers and cucumbers, and then some of the parsley and mint, which are used for the volatile oils that they can produce, and finally tomatoes, especially the breeds of cherry tomato that are not hybrids. It's pure species, because we reached the phase when we can do the seedling within the aquaponics. This also we managed in the different growing of the fish of the tilapia to reach 3 fishes per kilo, which is very acceptable and very natural. There is no chemicals. And this was the best part, was the maintaining of the ideal temperatures and pH of the levels to ensure the healthy growth, and naturally balanced feed, because the feed of the fish is very critical. Also the biosecurity measures to prevent diseases which comes to the fish, and also to the plant, because the nutrients are used by the plant. And then there we have different nutrition solutions that are fed to the fish. This is why I bring those, because it was a manual system at the beginning, and then it was automated with a control, with the sensors that can decide on the temperature and pH that we talked about, with the feeding systems, and it's all controlled automatically, that we can monitor not from inside of the aquaponics, but from our laptops, and thus control the feeding intervals and the control. So these are all live systems with respect on how advanced we want the aquaponics to be. And then we move to the step of producing a business model, so that we can extend. And these are all the aspects of the business model, which is going to be a separate report within the project based on planning, risk, sustainability, how investors can play a part, the growth potential, and the performance of the aquaponics. And then you look at the cost, the total cost versus the net profit, where you look at the lettuce to be the very promising plant, and of course tilapia with a very low cost compared to the revenue produced. So that's now we produce as the best production. Yet the Faculty of Pharmacy is working on the celery, basil, and kale to produce some oils which can be valuable, and some dried herbs that also can be valuable to the market. Looking at different crops, the payback of an aquaponic, when we spend, say, for example, 500,000 pounds, the payback periods are from 1.65 years to 3.2, depending and according to the intents of plantation, the crops used, and the type of fish inside the aquaponics. But these are all in the report. Next, please. This is now. This is there's a video. If in the bottom, if you can play it, Merit, it's the last thing.